You've probably heard of limiting beliefs and upper limits, and that you need to work through them if you really want to step into your full potential in this life. But how are your limiting beliefs even impacting your reality? Let's check it out in this video. Hi, my name is Tiffany Toombs. I'm a high-performance mindset coach that has worked with thousands of people across the world to help them reprogram their limiting beliefs so that they can truly discover what they are capable of doing. Now, in this video, I'm going to share with you where limiting beliefs come from, how they filter our reality, and how our limiting beliefs ultimately cause us to sabotage ourselves and hold ourselves back unintentionally. Let's get into it. So 95% of the belief systems that we have predominantly come from our childhood. And this actually is really from the time of conception to about 7 years old. Now, it's also possible that our belief systems are passed down through our DNA. The study of epigenetics has confirmed that our DNA can carry limiting beliefs with it. And depending on your belief systems, it's also possible to carry limiting beliefs forward from past lives. So all of this is to say that your limiting beliefs are really not all that real. They were created at a time when life was completely different, or they were created at a time when you didn't really understand how the world worked. And so this is where limiting beliefs become limiting, is they're based on a false reality or a false perception that we had at a time where we didn't have the communication tools, the understanding, the knowledge to be able to truly break down and reflect on a situation. Your limiting beliefs, because they were predominantly created between 0 and 7, can come from the things that your parents did, the things your parents said, how your siblings treated you, and possibly even your friends and your teachers or any other adult figures that were around. Oftentimes, it's not uncommon that we pick up a belief system from our parents that they had, especially around things like money and relationships, because of the things that we hear them say and do constantly. Between the ages of 0 and 7, we believe that our parents would never lie to us. So if we constantly hear our parents saying the same thing over and over, something like, money doesn't grow on trees, money is hard to come by, you have to work hard to make money, people will let you down and betray you. If you're constantly hearing these things and you believe your parents wouldn't lie to you, then those become your reality. Those become the belief systems that you then seek to validate throughout your life. Now, before I share with you how these limiting beliefs then filter your reality and your perception of reality, I want to hear from you. What is the biggest limiting belief that is keeping you blocked right now? Go to the comments below and let me know. So now that we know where the beliefs come from, how are they affecting our reality? Well, I want you to think of your belief systems almost like a filter. If I slap a filter on the camera right now that's green, everything on the screen is going to look green. You might think I look a little bit nauseous or ill right now because of that green filter. But if I then change it to black, everything looks a little bit dark. And then if I change it to white, everything looks a whole lot different all of a sudden. And this is ultimately what our belief systems do. Our belief systems filter and change. They alter our perception. Now, when we have a different perception of an event, that means that the opportunities or the choices that we see available to us change, which means the action that we take change, which means the results that we get changes. So let me give you an example. Let's say we have a woman who believes that all men are jerks. Well, what's going to happen is any man that she comes into contact with, she is going to perceive as being a jerk. Because our mind is wired to stay the same. Our mind does not like having our belief systems challenged. And that's why people get emotionally triggered, which is a whole other video. But that's why people get emotionally triggered when we start to challenge their belief systems. So we always look to validate the belief system. It doesn't matter what this man does, he is going to be a jerk. If he opens the door for her, how dare you? I am an independent woman. I can do it myself. And if he doesn't open the door, that was so rude. You don't appreciate me, toxic masculinity, right? And so we're going to filter our perceptions to validate that belief system. Then our opportunities that we see, or the options we have available to us, change. We either have the option of dating somebody who's a jerk or being single and becoming the crazy cat lady for the rest of our lives, right? Then that determines the actions that we take. So we either decide to date somebody who ultimately is a jerk. We friend zone the nice guy. I used to have this belief, by the way, which is why I know it so well. I told my husband, had I met him 10 years ago before I reprogrammed my beliefs, I totally would have put him in the friend zone because he was way too nice. Treats me like a queen. Would not have validated the whole men being jerks belief, right? So we either choose the guy who's gonna validate who really is a jerk, who's, abusive or talks down to us or ignores us, whatever, or we're not gonna date because everybody that we go on a date with is a jerk, so we just decide not to date. The results, we end up in abusive relationships, which further validate the belief systems, or we just don't go on dates, so there's no opportunity for anybody to disprove our belief system. This is how our limiting beliefs create our life. This is how they impact us. And we do this in 3 ways. We alter our perception in 3 ways. We delete information. So we just flat out don't see it. Have you ever had a circumstance where you're holding your phone in your hand and you're like, hey, have you seen my phone? I had a friend call me once. I answered the phone. I said, hello? And she said, hey, have you seen my phone? And I said, do you mean the phone that you're calling me on? And she was like, oh my goodness, right? She had filtered out the feeling of holding her hand in her phone. We delete information on a daily basis. You're probably not thinking about how your clothes feel against your skin right now until I brought it up. So we delete information. We distort information. We distort information so that it aligns with our belief system, right? Like I said with my husband, had I met him 10 years ago, I would have distorted his behavior to say, you're too nice, I can't possibly be attracted to you. But then there's this guy over here who's a complete jerk and has a history of cheating, and I'd be like, oh, I'm so in love, I can change him. Ladies, we do this. So we distort what we see in our environment to match our belief systems, and then we generalize. All men are jerks. I went on a date with a guy once who was a jerk, so they're all jerks. All women are this. All doctors, all people like this, right? We take based on 1 or 2 experiences, we take a whole group of people and we make them out to be the same thing. This is coming from our belief systems, and it's how we validate our belief systems and allow them to keep being perpetuated and keep being proven true. But all that does is lead to self-sabotage. How, you might ask? Before I get to that, I want to remind you to subscribe to my channel. I'm putting out brand new videos just like this one every single week so that you can not only understand why you do the things that you do better, but you can start to master and reprogram your mind so that you can start getting the reality that you want. So go ahead, click that subscribe button and like this video while you're there. So how do our belief systems lead to self-sabotage? Well, your belief systems are stored in the unconscious mind, which is 96% of your mind's capacity. It's the part of the mind that drives everything in your life. You're going to set goals, or you're going to have desires and dreams at some point in your life. That's coming from your conscious mind, the 4% of your mind. When your goals, your desires, your dreams are out of alignment with your belief systems, they will clash. You might be able to take action for a little bit based on willpower and self-discipline. Least effective way to make change, by the way, but that's another video. You might be able to take that momentum for a little bit to start taking action, but there will become a point where you start to bump up against your limiting belief, where you start to challenge whether or not that belief is true. And this is where sabotage happens. If you believe that all men are jerks, then as soon as you get into a relationship that doesn't have the chaos and the drama, you'll be bored. You'll be like, oh, there's no passion here. Or you'll create some drama and push that person away so that they get mad back at you, and you can say, see, I knew all men were jerks. I knew you were a jerk. You were just hiding it up until now. If you believe that it's not possible for you to lose weight, then as soon as you start losing weight and bumping up against that limiting belief, you will find a reason to put the weight back on. You'll slack off on your routine. You'll have a cheat day that includes the most disgusting foods ever and put the weight back on. If you believe that you're not smart enough to start a business, then as soon as you start having success in your business, you'll unconsciously make dumb decisions that will impact your success. It happens over and over and over again. This is where self-sabotage happens. So if we truly want to create the life that we want, if we want to stop sabotaging ourselves, we have to work on the belief systems that are leading to it. We need to get them into alignment with where we want to go. Now, if you want more tools on how to let go of those mental blocks so that you can start reprogramming those limiting beliefs and getting into alignment with where you're going, I'd love to invite you to join my 6-day Mind Mastery Challenge. This is a free challenge. I've pulled together the most powerful exercises that I take my clients through to reprogram their mind, and I'm giving them to you for free. All you have to do to get instant access is go to nlpworksheet.com or click on the link in the description below. Thanks for watching.